I can handle this, right?
Aw, look at all the big, tough bad guys.
Here you go. Here's one for you. Aw, you guys are so adorable thinking you can beat us.
This is it for you.
Ever been punched in the face by a god? Today might be your lucky day. This should be good. Stay down already, loser.
Peace.
I'm here if you need me.
Thanks, Hunter.
Good day, Hunter. Maybe you can give them a lesson they won't forget.
Is that all? Oh, this should be good! Just the boost I needed! Like it's up to me. Maybe put some ice on that. You'll feel better. Take that! You guys are really gonna get hurt if you're not careful. One's for you!
Still the prize. I can feel her corruption spreading.
Are we excited? Somebody call the meat wagon! Step right up, test your strength. I hope you're keeping score at home. Mucho gusto!
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago. I feel stronger already.
Guess we're not done. Still gonna try that?
We have the upper hand, for now. Let us see if they have an answer for this.
About time! Pretty colors!
Your time has come! Their time is short.
Do you still count as a living legend? Or did they put an asterisk right next to your name?
Hopefully they learned their lesson, but we all know that's wishful thinking.
Look at...
Nice shirt. Too bad you had to die for it.
Hello, my sweet girl.
Welcome, Hunter.
Will I see you at the meeting?
Maybe. Depends how bored I am.
Did you read today's book?
Of course, but you'll get nothing out of me until the meeting.
I'm getting a feeling that we make a really good team. Are you getting that same feeling?
Are you heading to the meeting?
Yeah, I'll be there shortly.
¿Qué pasa, Hunter?
Coming to book club tonight?
Meet you there.
I'll walk you.
Yeah?
Welcome to book club.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't realize Steve knew the author. I really should have read this when he first asked.
If you haven't already, you should welcome Logan. You good?
I am ready.
Before we start, I want to welcome Logan to the book club. What did you think of the book?
I didn't read it.
Okay then, guess I'll start. Steve, I really enjoyed this book.
What stood out to you?
I know people have different approaches to leading others, but I never considered what drives them to do so. Take Custer. He led from the front and was mostly loved by his troops, but his drive for personal glory affected every choice he made. Eventually, Custer picked a fight he couldn't handle. His recklessness led to the death of himself and every soldier he commanded.
His mistake was making decisions to elevate his own standing instead of his troops.
Makes sense. The better they do, the more he gets credit for leading them to victory. I think the biggest lesson, beyond don't be Custer, is that an outsized ego is a double-edged sword for a leader.
Also, you can't just get through life with a pretty face.
I thought you didn't read the book.
I didn't, but I picked things up from context.
I learned more about George Washington from this book than anything I was taught in school.
Yeah, that surprised me as well.
Before this, I associated him with statues, paintings, and the dustiest parts of American history. But here we see a military leader whose personal ambition was the victory of his army. He was clear-eyed about his goals and knew how to get out of his own way. Washington led from the top, though he kept counsel with various advisors. Once he made a decision, he expected his subordinates to follow his orders.
For less capable people, that sounds far too rigid a way to lead.
Yeah, I find it's best to leave some wiggle room. Give your people objectives and the resources to achieve them. More than anyone else in the book, Washington believed true leadership is a contract bestowed upon you by those whom you lead.
And that's where the book gets its title?
Right. The mantle of authority. It's something that augments you.
Which brings us to our final profile.
We really don't have to do this one.
And now I'm interested.
Steve, how long have you bugged me to read this?
Not because of the chapter on me. You all know General Phillips selected me for the Super Soldier program. For a time, he commanded me in the field, and that's why my profile is in the book. He was kind to say I led by example. Maybe that's how it used to be. But the Avengers isn't a military organization. If I gave Tony an order, he'd laugh in my face. To get anything done, I need the group's consensus. I can't give pretty speeches about the need to sacrifice. I have to show that putting in the effort today will make a better tomorrow.
You could order me a pizza.
Nope, we're too far from New York City.
That is a shame. Pizza could build consensus.
You're not wrong. That's how I used to get the Hulk on board. But I find little enjoyment in talking about myself, so yeah, let's end it here.
All right, we'll call it here. Next month is... Hunter, do you have any books to suggest?
None from the past few centuries.
Then Logan could pick the next one.
Sure. The Adventures of Crash Morgan number 5, The Last Queen at Deimos.
What is that exactly?
It's about a space explorer with a ray gun, a jetpack, and a fishbowl helmet. Travels through space with a robot dog. They get in wacky adventures.
That's a classic. A buddy of mine had that in basic.
I'm always up for space nonsense.
I'm not, but that's the book. I'll give it a shot.
I'm not sure why Logan joined book club if he's not going to read the books.
You are not required to do so.
Come on, it's the principle.
I'm actually surprised Steve recommended this book.
Why?
Steve can take a compliment, but he's uncomfortable with praise, especially from someone he respects.
What did you think?
Well, the punch is decent, but there should have been a bigger spread.
I meant, what did you think about book club?
I just told you. Thumbs up for punch, thumbs down for snacks.
Well, at least Logan showed up.
You did not think he would?
I wasn't sure he'd be into book club, and I don't know what to expect from that book of his.
It sounds like one of Nico's movies.
She does know how to pick 'em.
Nico has given me an appreciation for, I think it is called schlock?
Not you, too. I'm the only Midnight Sun who can't stand that garbage?
Seems that way.
Guess I'll be skipping future movie nights.
Oh, coward.
You're lucky there's no fighting in book club. Anyway, you leaving?
I am taking off.
Peace. Hey.
Glad to see you're adjusting.
I tried to get an ad for my services in Times Square. Didn't fly.
Hey, the mission's not over until we all breathe a sigh of relief. Okay.
How's Charlie? Getting enough pets?
Do not worry. I give her as many as she wants.
Good. Gotta keep our canine friend happy.
You like dogs, but what about cats?
Not crazy about him. But Ebony is different from other cats. Ebony acts more like a person.
Ebony reminds me of Agatha.
Yeah, sure. I can see that.
We shared the same mentor and learned from her.
She's got so much personality for such a little thing. Black cats get a bad rap. Maybe I empathize. I don't know.
She is fierce and kind. I think you two are similar.
Just don't start dangling string in front of my face. Ebony's the best cat in the Abbey.
She is the only cat.
Exactly.
You're looking well, Hunter.
What have you got for me, boss? I'll make something great out of this. Sometimes, I even impress myself. I'm pretty sure Charlie left a steaming coil in the hallway.
I'm happy to help, Hunter.
Let's see if you're as good as they say.
Do your thing.
What's good?
If it was here, I'll show me. The goddess must be busy. Perhaps I ask too much of him. I should make a respectable offering. Huh. This looks like it belongs here. I should come back at night. That is usually how these things work. Hippus does not seem to agree. Chthon's dark influence has tainted this world. The water here should be safe now. Hippus will provide. The gods are fickle. He hears me, but has no answers. Hippus brings renewal. He is in agreement. She does not see it happening. What is this? Looks like a fragment of a moon seal. Blessings of Hippus. Oster smiles upon me. Another moon seal fragment. What is this doing here?
You've almost retraced Wanda's steps, Hunter. Which means it's probably time I was honest with you. Things got a bit messy at this point. It was here that Wanda hit a wall, in the literal sense. The gates sealing off your mother's garden seemed all but impervious to any attempt we made at opening them.
You would not have given up that easily.
Of course not. Wanda was hesitant, but I was emboldened by just how close she had come to succeeding. I strongly encouraged her to keep trying. If I had only stopped to consider the risks. But no. With my guidance, she attempted to use the moon seal from Set's trial to force open the gate.
You were only trying to encourage Wanda's growth.
That may be, but there were other ways I could have helped her.
So what did happen?
Without the word of power, Set's blessing, Wanda couldn't control the energy within the seal. It responded like these things often do. It exploded.
But the gate did not open?
No, it didn't. And as an unfortunate side effect of the blast, I was killed.
That was the training accident with Wanda?
A surprisingly level-headed explanation from the poor girl, considering what she had just witnessed. I was still out of my senses, but that's a story for another time.
You died. Wanda was left traumatized, only to be blamed by caretaker and left without anyone to support her.
I said things got messy. Perhaps I should have said heartbreaking. In either case, now you know the truth.
But what about Sarah and the others? They need to know as well.
Given my current situation, I think it may have to wait, dear. If you'd still like to move forward, you'll need to find the shards of the broken moon seal. If all goes well, I should be able to reform the seal.
I believe I have found some pieces already.
Of course you have. There is one more piece left to find.
Mother. If his help was warranted, Hippus would provide. Must not be her purview. He sees the path. Autumn be praised. Autumn does not answer. Autumn reveals all. goddess disagrees. There's only so much Hippus can do. I have something for you.
Oh?
Here you are.
You are good at following direction.
What's up, Ancient One?
All right then.
What have you been doing, Ebony?
Hunter, hello?
What is this strange growth on the grounds?
While it may seem like some sort of invasive species, the substance we've been calling corruption is actually a physical manifestation of Chthon's dark influence.
How can it continue to spread in his absence?
The ever-resilient Darkhold keeps his ambitions alive, tempting the lost and desperate towards the darkness. With each new follower, his power here is rekindled.
Why, hello, Hunter.
Time to take it to the next level.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Later.
Finally, some action. I thought my dry spell was never gonna end.
I have been watching you.
Like in a secret admirer or creepy kind of way?
You are very confident for someone who lacks self-worth.
At least buy me dinner before you peg me like that. Why are you calling me out?
Because I also act the same as you.
Careful. You don't want to be as chaotic as the pool. It's a lot to handle.
I am serious. It is hard to maintain confidence in oneself.
You're an immortal badass. What's not to love? You ever heard the phrase, fake it until you make it? Wait a sec, of course you haven't. Basically, you pretend long enough, and then it sticks. It's the best way to trick other people into thinking you have your crap together. You don't do that?
Certainly. I think it is a very human thing to do.
Don't forget about the aliens.
Thank you for your insight.
Anytime. I love talking. All I'm saying is that we all have no clue what's going on, and I'm confident about that. You must have read my diary!
All you have to do is take out that nest mother. Sounds simple enough, right?
They have not changed their plans.
Don't be swayed by her words.
I understand.
You had your chance to escape. You were too weak for this fight.
asked for it. You aren't good enough for me. Hope you're ready. I wasn't even trying that hard. Done waiting.
Prepare yourselves.
It's nice to get away from limbo occasionally.
Let us see if they have an answer for this. Your mother abandons you.
Quickly, before they know.
You can be my sidekick anytime. That could have been a lot worse.
We've done it. Excellent work.
Hey, boss. Could use some help.
You know me. I'm always game for distractions. Screw Picasso. This belongs in a museum.
How's Ileana doing? She fitting in?
Why do you ask?
She had a hard time making friends at Xavier's school. Outside of class, she mostly stayed in her room. Doesn't seem that way here.
What does the crusty loner with the big hair care about the Queen of Limbo?
Johnny Storm doesn't know she exists, bub. But I'll tell you why I care. Ileana's gonna change the world someday. I'd rather fight beside her when she does. 'Cause if it goes the other way, we'll be praying for the simpler times when all we had to face was your mom. We're doing this again, no question.
I think that was our best work. Everyone did their part. I'm ready to call it a night. How about you?
Give me a minute.
You got it.
You heading to shop class?
I might. Swing on by.
So is that a yes, or...?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Got a minute? I know you're busy.
Hello, my sweet girl. Aw, who's a good kitty?
Shop class is supposed to meet tonight.
So just the two of us?
Actually, when I asked Parker, he mentioned you stopped by. Said he could convince Robbie if I could get you to show.
I'm sure everyone has something to say.
Maybe. But I already said too much. I have to fix this.
We should not keep them waiting.
Time to face the music.
So, what did you want?
A do-over? And to apologize for the last time.
It's a nice sentiment. But a do-over doesn't have much appeal for either of us.
Yeah. I don't understand why we should keep giving you chances.
You shouldn't. Not if you don't want to. But hear me out, okay? I've been the person in charge for years. When I'm stressed, I can steamroll people who never expected it, and certainly don't deserve it.
That's what assholes say. To justify their behavior so they can keep being assholes.
Half of the Avengers agree with you. Look, nothing I did was justified. I was a jerk. And I'm sorry.
Okay.
Look, when you take away all the trappings of ungodly wealth, I'm just a guy who likes to make things. None of my friends were into this stuff. I was the only kid who saw beauty in exhaust manifolds, who spent hours poring over the guts of a microprocessor. That's all I want here, to make things with friends. As long as that's still an option.
That's the whole idea behind this? Okay, here's how we make this work. Tony Stark, CEO, is banned from shop class.
But making things, Tony? The guy we're talking to right now? He can stay.
That's more than fair.
Glad that's over with. Feuding with Tony Stark is not an achievement I care to unlock. So, how about we make something new? We don't have much on this saber-tooth guy, but we know he's incredibly dangerous. He's also somewhat predictable.
In what way?
When it comes to a fight, he's extremely aggressive. Our ideas take advantage of that.
What have you cooked up?
The initial prototype uses a tailored pheromone to keep him away. It provokes an intense revulsion we hope will blunt his attacks.
Like a foul scent used to keep animals at bay.
Well put. Our other prototype is... well, we kept it simple. It's part sedative and part itching powder.
To trip him up with a thorn in his paw.
A very distracting thorn at that. I finally have a use for the components you handed me. I'm ready to put this together. How about you?
Just a moment.
No rush.
Well, that was less painful than expected. Thanks for coming, Hunter. We all needed to, clear the air.
Took Tony long enough to figure out shop class, huh? I thought his suit had the thicker skull.
I always believed Tony would do the right thing.
That's where we differ. But I'm glad to be wrong. I'll let you get to it. Parker can't wait to dive in.
You ready to put this one to bed?
I am ready.
Parker's creative drive is amazing. Seeing how he tackles a problem gives me ideas of my own. And Robbie has the right intuition when it comes to putting these prototypes together. I thought he was being overcautious, but that's a crafter's care. Wish I'd seen it earlier.
Look, I don't want to brag, but I think this is our best work. Yeah, I know, blah blah, teamwork, blah blah blah, but still, it's impressive what we can do when we all work together.
You know, I might stay for a bit more. I want to finish an adjustment to the Hell Ride. Is that it for today?
I am ready to go.
Hey, Robbie. Good.
More doesn't mean better. If they want to be part of the team, they'll have to earn it.
Who's a good girl? It is my Charlie girl. Catch any ghosts today, girl?